Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown. I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill, and we are back with you guys for another great episode of the Box Score Breakdown presented to you by FanDuel. I am your host at William is Bill. Like I said, follow us on Twitter at Ethos Fantasy NBA and at SportsEthos. Okay, we had a small 4-game slate for Monday's recap. But first, before we get into that, I want to talk about some trades that are happening and trades that happened since the last time we talked. You know, the Kings and the Cavs made a trade. Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder were traded for DeAndre Hunter. That's a head scratcher for a lot of people. Some people have said, why would the Cavs do that? Some people have said, why would the Kings do that? In my opinion, the Cavs won the trade by far. Keon Ellis, if you're just looking at the stats and you haven't been watching him play, he's a really good player that they don't play the right amount of minutes. So he could put up the same production or better than DeAndre Hunter. They just don't use him as much as they should. Dennis Schroeder, as we know, he started most of the games for the Kings, been a very solid point guard. He is a borderline starter, but he's best as a backup. Like, he's probably the best backup point guard in the league. But just not quite really good enough to be a consistent starter. That's why he's been traded so many times. I think this is his 11th team, but that doesn't make him not a good player. The Cavs needed depth really bad, and they got it with this trade. And DeAndre Hunter wanted to be traded anyway. He asked for a trade out. He wasn't fitting in. Jalen Tyson took his role anyway. So for me, it's a win-win for the Cavs. This may not provide fantasy goodness for either team, honestly, not right now. They're going to have to make some more moves, but everyone is pretty much going to stay in their same role, except for Dennis Schroeder would take a step down if Garland comes back. We don't know what's going on with Garland, but that transitions me into my next point. Today, like breaking news, you know, we are live right now, by the way. With the Box Score Breakdown at SportsEthos. Follow us on YouTube, X, all that, and you can see us live and submit your questions at the end of the show. But breaking news just happened. This is midnight. The Clippers and the Cavs are in trade discussions between James Harden and Darius Garland. That is kind of mind-blowing if you hear that out loud. Some people may think. I mean, if you think of talent, if they were similar in age, this would make more sense. But James Harden is like 36 years old, still playing great. Darius Garland is more like 26 years old. But he's been banged up a lot, like big time. The last 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, Garland has missed a tremendous amount of games, whether he's breaking his face, his feet, whatever. But his turf toe. But the Cavs have seen the light in a way to where they're thinking we can't win with Garland and Donovan Mitchell as the duo. You know, both of them are kind of on the shorter side. And, you know, that didn't work with Trey and DeJounte. But it's kind of short-sighted. But that just shows you the Cavs are trying to win the championship right now. They're not looking to the future. The Clippers are looking toward the future, which they should, because they're not going anywhere with their current roster with James Harden and Kawhi and those guys. So I think, believe it or not, it's a win-win. I don't like trading older guys for younger guys, but with Garland's injury history and the fact that he's injured right now again, and they need that spot solidified, James Harden can do that for this year, probably next year, probably the year after. We just know Garland has a longer window because he's younger. So that's the breaking news in the league. We will see if it happens. We'll see if other players will be involved or picks. But for now, that's what's going on in the world. But so, like I said, we're going to recap Monday's 4-game slate. So let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. It's a lot, y'all. Trade deadline is Thursday, so it's going to be fun. First game, we're going to talk about the Hornets defeated the Pelicans, and this is the Hornets' 7th straight victory. They are turning it on right now. Maybe they'll get up to 500% soon. For the Pelicans, Herb Jones is back in the lineup, 12-7 with a steal and a block. Solid. That's what you can expect from him. Zion, 14-11 with 4 assists, nothing else. You want more points, but this is kind of what you're going to get with Zion, but he just was not aggressive tonight. Trey Murphy was aggressive, by far the most shots. 10 for 20 from the field, 27 points for Trey Murphy the third, 4 assists and a steal. Great game, perfect free throws. Is Trey Murphy the best player on his team? Possibly. Derek Queen, 16-8 with 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block. In the future, he may be the best player on this team. Really good game by Derek Queen, 31 minutes. Hopefully, he can just keep in that range, 30 to 34 minutes a night, and let him work. Sadiq Bey with 8 points, 5 assists, 3 boards, and a steal. Solid, but didn't do his typical what he's been doing this year because he went 2 for 12 from the field. That's what happens when that happens. Unfortunately, Jeremiah Fears was benched, only 15 minutes off the bench. He did have 9 points, 2 steals, and a block, but it looks like they wanted to try something different against the Hornets. I don't know why. In this game, Jeremiah Fears did smack LaMelo Ball in the face pretty hard. It was on accident, but LaMelo's got a little bruise over his eye. So, but speaking of LaMelo, 30 minutes, 24 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Like I said, he's getting back into form. So this is what we like to see. We were tired of those 16-point games and 2 assist games. This is more like the Melo we know and love. Brandon Miller, 16-8 with a steal. Nice. Concanipple, 17-9 with 2 assists. Moussa Diabate, only 2 points, but had 9 boards and 2 assists. And Miles Bridges, down game, 9 points, 4 boards, 1 assist. On the bench, Grant Williams, 16-9. So he's back. You know, he played his first game a few days ago, ramping up, and now almost had a nice double-double. He's going to be a consistent veteran presence that could hurt Moussa Diabate a little bit. Moussa still played 28 minutes, but Grant Williams played the other 20. He kind of played a merger role, backing up Miles Bridges and Moussa, but because we still have Kalkbrenner who played 18 minutes. Kalkbrenner had 10-7 with 3 blocks, and just imagine what that could be in 30 minutes, 34 minutes. But it's getting a little crowded now. I don't know if Moussa felt uncomfortable or not, but he did not have anything similar to his 18-20 rebound game the other night. So that'll do it for this game. Colin Sexton, I would say, had a bad game, but 5 points, mainly just because he played 12 minutes. He didn't have a bad game. He just didn't play. All right, next game, the Rockets defeated the Pacers 118-114. Jabari Smith, 19-4 with a steal and a block. Tari Eason, 9-10 with the block. Alperen Sengun with the monster game to show everyone he should have been an all-star. 39 points, 16 boards, 5 assists. Great game by Alperen Sengun. Amen Thompson, 16-11 with 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Typical Amen. Reed Sheppard started 11 points, 2 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Solid game right there from Reed Sheppard, mainly because of the steals and blocks, because everything else was kind of average. Jayshawn Tate, 8 points. Aaron Holiday, 8 points. Clint Capella did nothing. Well, I'll say he had 7 boards and a block, but you expect more. But Capella has really, really, really aged out this last year and the year before. For the Pacers, Siakam had 27, 4, and 5 with a steal. Jay Huff started, played 12 minutes. I'm done with these Pacers lineups. He still had 2 blocks, though. Nembhard, 7 and 8 assists with the steal and the block. Neesmith, 17-6 with the block. Johnny Furphy started, did nothing. Very unfortunate. Jarris Walker, 12-4 with the steal. The big scorer for the team, second leading scorer, Benedict Mathurin, 25 points, 4 boards, 5 assists off the bench. Great shooting percentage. You love to see it. 90% from the free throw line. Great game by Ben Mathurin. Want to get him back starting. Needs to get back starting for this Pacers squad. Next game, we had the Grizzlies defeated the T-Wolves 137-128. Julius Randle, 19, 8, and 8 with a block. Jaden McDaniels, 29 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. Rudy Gobert, 7 points, 10 boards, 2 blocks. DiVincenzo, 21 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals. Anthony Edwards, 39 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal. Tremendous game by Anthony Edwards. We were waiting to see him have an explosion like this. 39 points is not something you see every day. He's been cruising around the 25 points, sometimes under, most of the time under. But he blew up tonight. Naz Reid, 10 and 6 with 1 steal and 4 blocks. Tremendous by Naz Reid. And Bones Highland, 17 minutes, didn't do anything. For the Grizz, Jaren Jackson Jr., 30 and 6 with a block. Cedric Coward, 14 and 4. Jalen Wells, 18, 2 assists and a steal. Jock Landale started, didn't do anything. Ty Jerome, 19 points, 6 boards, 8 assists, and a steal. And that's just a professional point guard in 20 minutes. Off the bench, Gigi Jackson, 13 and 8 with a block. Vince Williams, 16 and 5 assists, 2 steals. And Cam Spencer, 16, 4, and 5. The interesting news here is Ty Jerome is back and started over Cam Spencer. A lot of people were big on Cam Spencer, saying Adam, thinking he was going to be the guy. But they did not have those same plans because Ty Jerome is back. Then the last and final game that ended super late, the Sixers defeated the Clippers 128-113. For the Sixers, Dominique Barlow, out of nowhere, 26 points, 16 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. Yes, Dominique Barlow, not Joel Embiid, 26 and 16 with 2 steals and a block. That is tremendous production. He's played a lot this year, not done anything like this. I know he's talented. He was talented pre-NBA, but he hasn't shown anything recently. He definitely did tonight. Next game, don't expect the same thing, I'll tell you that. Joel Embiid, 24 and 5 with 3 assists and a steal. Kelly Oubre, 15 points, a steal. Tyrese Maxey, 29, 5, and 6 with 3 steals. BJ Edgecombe, down game, 1 for 11 from the field. That killed you. 5 points, 7 assists, and a steal. And off the bench, Quentin Grimes, 14 points, 4 assists. No one else did too much of note. Jerry McCain, 6 points, 4 assists. For the Clippers, we mentioned James Harden. He was not there. He's in those trade talks. But Kawhi had 29, 4 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals. John Collins, 15 and 7. Ivica Zubac, 8 and 9 with 2 assists, a steal, and a block. Chris Dunn, 6 and 6. Kobe Sanders, who they're converting him to a standard contract, showed up tonight, 17 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. Brook Lopez, 13 points on the block. And Jordan Miller, 21, 4, and 2 with a steal. So, great production right there from all around the league. Nothing too crazy. Let's go over your players of the night. Trey Murphy III, 27 points. LaMelo Ball, 24 and 8. Alperen Sengun, 39 and 16. Pascal Siakam, 27. Anthony Edwards, 39 and 7. Jaren Jackson Jr., 30 and 6. And Dominique Barlow, 26 and 16. And Kawhi Leonard, 29, 6, and 3 steals. Like I said, we're live. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to hit us up at SportsEthos. We appreciate you guys. And we are presented to you by FanDuel again. If you're listening to us on the Fantasy NBA Today podcast, Doc and Brew will be back with you tomorrow to further engage in these texts, trade options, trade rumors, inner workings. They have you covered and the ramifications for all of that. Thank you all so much for watching, listening. Subscribe to the Box Score Breakdown. We truly appreciate it. Until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.